and at the same time be better stewards of the environment.
You have questions, we have answers.
Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist, because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
And a very, very good Tuesday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Exploring Energy Radio Show. I'm your host, Shawn Wilson. Thanks again for making us a part of your day. Grandma's House, 1510 West 9th Street. Here's what's on the menu. Woo! Barbecued smoked sausage, mac and cheese, potato salad, roll, and apple dump cake. Great menu today. Barbecue smoked sausage, mac and cheese. Also potato salad, roll, and apple dump cake. They're open from 11 to 1 Monday through Friday. Elk City Meals on Wheels dining area is now Grandma's House. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support this organization, or maybe get someone you know that is in need of this on the list, you call them at 225-5821, 225-5821. Again, barbecue, smoked sausage, mac and cheese, potato salad roll, and apple dump cake. That's what is going on at Grandma's House. Open from 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Free books still delivered to you right from the Carnegie Caravan. Friends of the Carnegie Library will throw those books in the Carnegie Caravan, bring them to you there in the Elk City area. If you're having trouble reading regular print, regardless of where you live, you can call them, ask them about a free program that can help with that. 225-0136, 225-0136. Bring in the books right to you. Okay. All right, get right at it with some energy stock prices to start the day, and they're up. West Texas Intermediate up in $3.97, trading at $92.10 a barrel. It's an April contract out of New York Mercantile Exchange. Brent crude oil, the ICE Futures Exchange out of London, up $3.43, trading at $103.37 a barrel. Tocom crude oil in Japan is down 1,380 yen per kiloliter. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas is up a penny, trading at $2.90 per million BTU. That's just still hovering right around the $3 business. RBOB gasoline, these are all March contracts out of the New York Mercantile Exchange. RBOB gasoline up $12.68 to $3.1017. Heating oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange up $18.59 to $4.2419. And gas oil down $14.25, trading at $1,273.50 per metric ton. Okay, yesterday we talked about the Baker Hughes rig count. Let's talk about some of the active plays going on in the United States and here locally. Oklahoma is seeing increased oil and gas drilling, and it's centered in the Anadarko Basin. The most recent Baker Hughes rig count showed the state recorded an increase of 2 rigs to reach 46 active rigs, and the gain was in the Canna Woodford. The Canna jumped 2 rigs to 23. So the Canna Woodford, one of Oklahoma's most active liquid-rich shale plays, continues to drive drilling momentum in the state. Its stacked formations and strong production profile have made it a focal point for operators seeking both crude oil and natural gas liquids. The Granite Wash also recorded an increase in drilling, where it saw a gain of 1 rig for a total of 15 active rigs in the play over the past week. Ardmore Woodford kind of goes idle, has gone silent in the sounds in the oil and gas drilling, as it's lost the last 2 rigs to be active there. It leaves no rigs in the Ardmore Woodford play. The Arkoma Woodford was unchanged with 3 active drilling rigs there. The Mississippian went another week with no recorded rig activity. The shifting rig distribution highlights how operators continue to concentrate capital in core areas while scaling back activities in less competitive formations. Going after the low-hanging fruit, basically. Elsewhere in the Permian Basin, the nation's most active oil and gas play saw a jump of 2 rigs to reach 243 active drilling rigs. In the Williston Basin, they've gained 3 to hit 29 rigs. The Utica Shale was unchanged with a count of 12 rigs, and the Marcellus Shale remained at 27. Haynesville Shale stayed at 54 active drilling rigs, but the Eagleford Shale, the total declined 1 to 42. There was a drop of 1 rig in the DJ Niobrara Basin, leaving 9 rigs still in search of oil and gas there, and the Barnett Shale remained at 1 rig. The latest data reflects a steady but selective expansion of drilling activity across key U.S. shale basins, with Oklahoma's Anadarko Basin continuing to play a central role in the regional production growth. So the Anadarko Basin, which is in Oklahoma, stretches into the East Texas Panhandle and then back again into the Panhandle of Oklahoma. Seeing some action. I like that. Closer to home. Our guys aren't having to travel so far. Well, not all our guys, anyhow. Okay, well, motorists are paying about $1 more for fuel than a month ago, while oil prices did drop somewhat. Fuel prices across the nation in Oklahoma are nearly $1 higher after more than 3 weeks of war against Iran. But crude oil prices dropped 11% to 12% on Monday's trading, as they were less than $88 a barrel for West Texas Intermediate. Has come up a skosh on this morning's trading already. Crude under 99, the West Texas Intermediate crude, and under $99 a barrel internationally for the Brent crude oil, but it's now a little over a hundo. AAA reported that the nationwide average was $3.95 per gallon of regular ethanol blend gasoline, a penny higher than Sunday, but $1.02 more than 1 month ago. Diesel fuel prices averaged $5.28 per gallon compared to $3.71 paid last month. Oklahoma's average this week fell 1 cent since Sunday to $3.25 per regular gallon of gasoline, while diesel fuel averaged about $4.47 per gallon. Gas prices are $1.01 higher from a month ago, while diesel fuel prices last month averaged $3.22 per gallon, or $1.25 cheaper than this week. The gasoline average price in Oklahoma City sits at about $3.22 per gallon, down 2 cents from Sunday, but $1.01 per gallon more than 1 month ago. Diesel fuel's average price $4.38 per gallon, while a month ago it cost $3.19. Gasoline prices averaged $3.28 per gallon in Tulsa compared to $2.29 per gallon a month earlier. Diesel fuel averages about $4.70, up 3 cents from Sunday, but much higher than the $3.26 per gallon a month ago in the Tulsa area. Cotton County in southern Oklahoma has the highest average gas price at $3.60 per gallon. The lowest average is $3.06 in Comanche County. So that is what's going on as far as the energy prices. I'm going to talk a little more here in a little bit about it. But first I'll give you this little tidbit of information. Oklahoma Corporation Commissioner Chairwoman or Chairman Kim David has been appointed by U.S. Secretary of Transportation Shawn P. Duffy to serve on 2 key federal advisory committees responsible for reviewing national pipeline safety regulations. Chairman David will serve as a government representative member on both the Technical Pipeline Safety Standards Committee, commonly known as the Liquid Pipeline Advisory Committee, the LPAC, and the Gas Pipeline Advisory Committee, the GPAC. Her appointments are for a 3-year term. The LPAC and GPAC provide technical guidance to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, the PHMSA, if you will, reviewing a proposed pipeline safety regulations and evaluating their technical feasibility, cost-effectiveness, and practicality before they are finalized. Oklahoma is home to one of the largest and most complex pipeline networks in the country, said Chairman David. It is an honor to represent our state and bring Oklahoma's regulatory experience to the national level. I appreciate the confidence placed in me by Secretary Duffy and the Trump administration. I look forward to working with federal partners to ensure our nation's pipeline safety standards are both strong and practical. So Oklahoma's extensive pipeline system plays a critical role in the nation's energy infrastructure, of course, transporting oil and natural gas and refined products across the state. Throughout the country, the OCC regulates thousands of miles of intrastate pipeline and has long been recognized for its expertise in pipeline safety oversight. David emphasized the strong collaboration between state regulators and federal agencies is essential to maintaining a safe and reliable pipeline system. Just up there around Cushing, the pipeline crossroads of America. I guess they probably keep those guys in the Okie busy, just trying to locate all those lines if they were to dig anything as simple as a post hole. That being said, we're going to come back. It's SIRA week down in Houston. We'll talk about that and more as we continue with the next segment of the Exploring Energy Radio Show right here on 96.5 KECO.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Are you in a bind and need some cash fast? Yes Finance in Oak City loves to say yes. They can help relieve stress with a loan up to $1,300. Most loans are approved in 30 minutes or less. Yes Finance takes pride in helping you get the money you need for any occasion. Go by the office at 1414 West 3rd Street in Elk City or apply online at localloangroup.com. Again, that's localloangroup.com. At Yes Finance, they love to say yes.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text SMILE to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text SMILE to 797979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SMILE to 797979. That's SMILE to 797979.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? The catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for you. Of course they got burgers. They got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
You get a cup of coffee, you walk up to the cashier to pay, and there it is, a world of possibilities right there at your fingertips. The Penny News, our free gift to you.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
This show is brought to you in part by ASCO Equipment. If you're looking for heavy equipment for sale or rent in Oklahoma, their new and pre-owned construction equipment fits your needs and your budget. ASCO is a leading provider for the Oklahoma construction, ag, and energy sectors, proudly serving this area with construction equipment like tractors, backhoes, wheel loaders, cranes, dozers, excavators, forklifts, compactors, pavers, skid steers, and more. When you partner with ASCO, their equipment repair shop ensures quick and efficient heavy equipment repair and construction equipment maintenance. Additionally, their team of employees and fleet field service trucks are ready to roll to your job site to assist you with construction equipment repairs 24/7. No matter what heavy machinery your job or project requires, they can provide equipment solutions. They'll come and work on your own piece of equipment, no matter where you bought it, when you bought it, what brand it is. And if you're looking at maybe trading in for a better piece of equipment, they do that too. Bart Shields will come and assess your equipment, tell you what it's worth on a trade-in, then put you in the seat of a brand new piece of equipment or a really like a new used piece of equipment. And if you're just needing a piece of equipment for just a short-term job, EJ Gredeman, Equipment Rental there will help you. Flexible equipment rental options, daily, weekly, monthly payments. You set it up. They'll work with you. They want to be a partner in your project. ASCO Equipment, 513 West 20th Street in Elk City. Call the branch manager, Jeremy Bridgman. Tell him we sent you 323-3422. 323-3422. Or online at ASCOEQ, ASCOEQ.com. Champion X, Will Bowie. He's our guy. He's your Champion X contact for this area. His phone number, 405-650-8521. If you didn't get it, I'm going to give it here in a little bit again. 405-650-8521 or online at championx.com. Champion X, a division of the largest, service company in the world, Schlumberger, and they're improving lives. From artificial lift to artificial intelligence, mission technologies, drilling technologies, chemical injection products, chemical technologies, industry innovations, and how about their all-new Unify system? Ask Will about that. Your well could benefit, all your lease operators could benefit, and the end user could benefit. Champion X, Will continues to help solve his customers' plunger lift and automation issues. This gets a maximum return using the most environmentally safe procedures. And with the Unify system, they're trying to make it easy as possible. His number again, as promised, 405-650-8521. Will Bowie, Champion X, is improving lives. An American Hose and Supply, whether it's high pressure, low pressure, suction, discharge, whether it's on a piece of equipment, well, if you're on location or out in the pasture and you're working and you spring a leak in a hose, you stop dead in your tracks. That's what happens. Good thing you've got American Hose and Supply saving your contacts, and for those of you who don't, here's that number. 580-303-1123, 303-1123. Inside the Camrod building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City, you heard Brock Count tell you they'll do whatever it takes to get you up and going. But why not go to those who know hose? Okay. It's Sierra Week down in the Houston area. So the Sierra Week Conference returns to Houston as Iran conflict rocks global energy markets. So here's kind of what's going on this week. The world's top energy executives return to Houston as the escalating U.S.-Israeli war on Iran has become a nightmare for energy markets. As unprecedented attacks on infrastructure and shipping disruptions sent global oil prices soaring while governments scrambled to fight inflation and avoid recessions. Global oil prices jumped this week, hitting almost $120, levels not seen since Russia's war on Ukraine disrupted markets back in 2022. So the industry experts and analysts expect prices to remain elevated long after combat operations end. They say it will take years for the region to recover from the upheaval caused by airstrikes and Iran's virtual closure of the Straits of Hormuz, the conduit for 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas. I'm going to pause here for a moment and tell you this is a story out of Reuters, which, they're left. I mean, they are definitely left-leaning. So a lot of the phraseology in this story, that kind of leads you to believe that it was the United States solely responsible for this attack, and then the U.S. is to blame for the high oil prices. Okay. Not one time blaming Iran's reign of terror for the last 47 years, not only on their own people, which is daily, but on to all of our allies and all of our men and women in the service industries, or not industries, but in the service of our country, in the armed services. So I'm going to go ahead and finish on with the story because it brings some highlights to some of the things that are going on there. But okay, so the industry, the upheaval caused by airstrikes and Iran's virtual closure of the Straits of Hormuz. But for instance, Qatar said a damaged liquefied natural gas facility will take years to repair. At this year's CERA Week conference, over 10,000 attendees from more than 80 countries will also focus on Venezuela, after the U.S. captured President Nicolas Maduro in January and eased sanctions on the South American OPEC member nation in an effort to kickstart its oil industry and boost investment. The geopolitics around energy has never flown as thick and as fast as it's flowing right now. The Gulf situation plus Venezuela plus the knock-on issues around Russia, it really is an extraordinary moment, said Geoffrey Pyatt, who was Assistant Secretary of State for Energy Resources under former President Joe Brandon, and is now a Senior Managing Director at U.S. consultancy McLarty Associates. The 5-day event, CERA, set to begin yesterday, came as Iran's effective closure of the Straits of Hormuz has forced Middle Eastern producers to shut in much of their output. Tehran has also struck oil and gas targets in the Gulf after Israel struck one of its large gas fields this week. Consuming nations have mostly given up hope that disruptions would be short-lived. Many refineries and petrochemical companies, mostly in Asia, have cut runs, shut units, or declared force majeure, a force of nature, as the conflict disrupts crude and feedstock exports from the Middle East. In the U.S., diesel prices have topped $5 a gallon for the first time since 2022, as gasoline pump prices have moved toward $4 a gallon. This has raised the political stakes for President Donald Trump and his Republican Party ahead of midterm elections in November. Tying this to midterms, there's another one of Reuters' little jabs. CERA Week participants and speakers include U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright, the only energy secretary ever to have any oil and gas experience. Crazy that it's gone this long, but that is a true statement. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, ministers from OPEC Plus members Nigeria and United Arab Emirates, as well as CEOs from Aramco, Chevron, Shell, Total Energies, and the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. There's been more upheaval and disruption in markets than ever before. This is a war that's been brewing for almost a half a century. And the concerns about the Gulf have been prominent for half a century, but now it's happening. Dan Yergin, Pulitzer Prize-winning author and vice chairman of CERA Week conference organizer S&P Global, said in an interview. Security and affordability will be the defining words for CERA Week, Yergin said. A quick pivot from weeks ago when big tech and its relationship to the energy industry had been slated to be the preeminent theme. All those producers will look at the world differently, with countries will look at their degree of dependence differently. I think there will be a big push for diversified supplies, Yergin said. Policymakers worldwide are also now considering proposals to expand nuclear energy and renewables, grow strategic stockpiles, and increase domestic production in a bid to reduce long-term dependence on oil and gas imports. So now, Venezuela, we talked about that. This highlights that just a bit. A last-minute addition to the official CERA Week agenda is Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado, who is expected to address attendees this afternoon. Her team used the conference last year to present a detailed energy plan, and investors this year will watch for signals she might send about efforts by interim President Delcy Rodriguez to quickly boost production with Washington's help as she pushed for a restoration of democracy. The fact that Maria Machado is addressing CERA Week is really interesting reflection on the still unresolved political story, said Pyatt. Dozens of investors have been scouting investment opportunities to plumb Venezuela's huge crude oil reserves. They must contend with legal risks, regulatory uncertainty, and old infrastructure that is unusable without significant investment. U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright said last month from Caracas that he expects a dramatic increase in Venezuelan production in the coming months. Yet industry experts generally expect early expansions to boost output by as much as 500,000 barrels a day in as little as 6 months from a current 1 million barrel per day. That increase would be insufficient to offset the supply disruption from the Iranian crisis. Then we have the AI and Texas shale. The conference will also be highlighting the role of artificial intelligence in the energy industry and feature an exhibition space for startups and stalwarts to show off new technology. Efficiency gains and new technology help push U.S. crude oil production to a record 13.6 million barrels per day last year. Yet the recent run-up in prices is unlikely to spur huge increases in output unless prices remain elevated for many months, industry executives and analysts said. Production from the Permian Basin, which straddles West Texas and southeastern New Mexico, is set to grow by just 10,000 barrels per day this year to a record 6.6 million barrels per day, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. For the U.S. production outlook, I think it's still status quo until there's some visibility that this war either ends or isn't going to end, said Dan Pickering, Chief Investment Officer for Pickering Energy Partners. It's not going to be a tsunami, Pickering added. So that's what's going on in Syria. That's what they're talking about down there. It's no coincidence in my mind that the Venezuela situation happened before the Middle East situation. Trump knew in his wisdom that we were going to have access to this Venezuelan oil. Couldn't do it while Maduro was in there. Another thing that this points out too, and a lot of people aren't talking about it, and that is the aged infrastructure in Venezuela. They haven't been putting any money back into the infrastructure in Venezuela as far as their oil and gas production because they were too busy just putting that money in their own pockets, Maduro and his gang of criminals. So, kind of an interesting dynamic. But Syria Week, they're going to be talking about it. Guys a whole lot smarter than me are going to try to figure it out. But over 80 countries in the U.S. being represented there. At the bottom of the hour, going to take another quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about how, well, oil prices, you see, do not tell the market's real story. We'll have that and more as we continue right here on 96.5 KECO's Exploring Energy Radio Show. Stick around, won't you?
The Exploring Energy Show.
It's the Declaration of Deals sales event at Cummins in Weatherford. With St. Patrick's Day here, you won't need the luck of the Irish to find savings on your favorite new 2026 vehicle. From rugged Ram trucks to adventurous Jeeps and stylish Chrysler Dodge models, all waiting at Cummins. Test drive all CDJR models. Stop by today and discover your pot of gold in a brand new ride. Cummins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Weatherford, just off I-40 or at CumminsChrysler.com.
The McIntyre Red Angus Partners in Progress Bull and Female Sale is Monday, March 30th at Sweetwater, featuring over 70 registered Angus bulls, 40 commercial Red Angus pairs, and 100 commercial Red Angus open heifers. View the sale online at cci.live. For sale information, go to McIntyreRedAngus.com. A lot of great cattle are for sale near Sweetwater the last Monday in March. The McIntyre Red Angus Partners in Progress Bull and Female Sale is Monday, March 30th at 1 p.m. at Sweetwater.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and I just learned the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas have just restored their 20,000th well site. They've been doing this work voluntarily now for decades, spending tens of millions of dollars restoring one well site at a time. Many of these old well sites are 50 to 100 years old, abandoned by their original owners. But now, the land is restored so the current owners can make it productive for generations to come. See how they do it at oerb.com/Mike Rowe.
Time out. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OSSAA and the Oklahoma Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gretaman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
The second annual CW Ranch and Cattle Company Replacement Female Sale is this Friday, March 27th at 5 p.m. just south of Woodward, Oklahoma at the White Energy Office. Selling over 200 ranch-raised Angus first calf heifers, all with calves at side. Also selling this year will be 8 ranch-raised Angus bulls ready for service. You can bid on the internet at dvauctions.com or view the cattle before the sale and bid in person. For information, call CJ Auctions, 918-629-9382, or Calvin White, 580-254-1507.
Try the penny news for your business. It's the little paper with a big punch.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
K4T. Jason Koss and his wife Jamie treat customers like family at K4T Machine Shop out on Merritt Road. They specialize in CNC machining. Got to see their big plasma cutter and their big table. Big time deal there. They strive to deliver quality and value for the oil field and ag industries. They're committed to delivering with efficiency with a fast turnaround. That's why they keep investing in new equipment, like their internal boring machine. It's a pretty cool piece of equipment, and it will make jobs a lot easier to get within 0.02 of an inch. I mean, that's right down to the hair. Third-generation machinist Jason Koss. He understands what it is to be a machinist. It's passed down from his grandfather to his father, now to him. You can visit them on Merritt Road in Elk City or find them on the Facebook. K4T, built on family, driven by craftsmanship, and focused on quality. Have him show you around the place. He'll show you that what they do there means something. Sense of pride. That's K4T Machine Shop right out on Merritt Road, or find them on Facebook. Sustaining Oklahoma's energy resources, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. They got some upcoming educational opportunities day after tomorrow, March 26th, Thursday. Help stop human trafficking with TAT Energy. Truckers Against Trafficking. That's what TAT stands for. Nonprofit dedicated to mobilizing key industries, especially the energy sector, to combat human trafficking. Free training, resources, integrate awareness into existing safety programs. That's what this next program is about. Help stop human trafficking with Truckers Against Trafficking. And that is going to be an 11 a.m. Zoom meeting Thursday morning. It's free. You got to get yourself registered before end of business tomorrow to join them for that workshop. Then April the 2nd, how artificial intelligence infrastructure boom is impacting oil and gas operations. That's also a Zoom meeting at 11 a.m. Natural gas and midstream coming up April the 9th. You can find a full list of all these educational opportunities and very easily register by going to www.oerb.com. At the top, click on Producer Education. Then from the drop-down, select Workshops and Training. It's that simple. OERB.com. Get yourself educated. Cam Rock Supply. Most farm equipment have cylinders, hydraulic cylinders. And if a cylinder starts leaking hydraulic fluid, they leak down, they won't hold up, they cause a mess. Well, Bird can fix it. Bird's the man. Bird will tear it apart. Bird will replace the seals. Bird will put it back together and get you down the road. That's what Bird does for Cam Rock Supply on South Main Street and their customers. Next to Fred's Steakhouse, Online, camrocksupply.com. If you got leaky cylinders, take them to the bird. camrocksupply.com. 3 local guys with local ties doing business with their community. And David Allen Guest, one of our great sponsors, a good friend, and he is wonderful at what he does. David's been managing minerals and royalties for himself and others for nearly 40 years for a reason. He's good at it. He understands it. He stays educated. It's always changing. Most people do not have the time to keep up with those kind of changes. And he'll get you the most out of your royalties. That's the kind of guy he is, and a guy of integrity. Guy you'll be glad you're doing business with. He is an investment, not an expense. If you find yourself in a situation to sell you don't want to be taken advantage of, David's a buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. David is a bevy of information. Call him today, 405-341-8698, 405-341-8698. Tell him you heard about it right here on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. That's David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. Okay, as promised, here we go. The oil prices you see do not tell market's real story. 3 weeks into the Iranian war, there's an ever-growing gap between the price of oil futures and supplies that determine costs for customers in the real world. The global Brent benchmark has jumped around 50% to around $110 a barrel as the near-complete closure of the Straits of Hormuz and the tax on Middle East energy facilities choke supplies. But the cost of almost every physical barrel is surging even more as tight supplies boost prices of products that customers actually use, like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Refiners in Asia, the top consuming region, are buying cargoes from thousands of miles away and eye-watering premiums to Brent as they try and secure whatever supplies are available. Trucking companies are starting to feel the impact of higher fuel costs, and some parts of the world are crimping purchases of fuels that power ships. With jet fuel prices above $200 a barrel, major European airlines say passengers will have to bear the extra cost. The disconnect between futures, which are underpinned by hundreds of billions of dollars of daily transactions, and physical oil is partly due to aggressive U.S. attempts to keep a lid on prices, including through releasing emergency supplies. The reality is that the global economy is suffering from a bigger inflationary hit than futures suggest, something that's piling pressure on central bankers in the Trump administration before the November midterms. You look at the paper markets. They've entirely disconnected from the physical markets, said Jeff Curry, the Chief Strategy Officer of Energy Pathways at Carlyle Group. We're dealing with an enormous supply shock. The price shock could get much worse. Wall Street giants, Goldman Sachs Group and Citigroup this week said that if the conflict continues, futures could hit record highs in the coming weeks, surpassing $147.50 set back in 2008. It's unusual for physical and future prices to remain far apart for long periods of time. Those calls are being driven by what the International Energy Agency described as the biggest ever oil supply disruption. Goldman has estimated that about 17 million barrels a day of oil flows through the Persian Gulf are being affected by the conflict. Of course, Brent neared 120 twice in the last 2 weeks, a level not seen since 2022, putting pressure on Washington to calm the market. On Thursday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Fox News that just days after announcing one massive stockpile release, the U.S. could consider another one, despite question marks over the viability of doing so logistically. He then followed with comments that stunned already exhausted oil traders. The U.S. might lift some sanctions on Iranian oil, despite being at war with Tehran. Traders around the world who have had to approach Iran trades with the utmost caution for years expressed exasperation with that news. Other efforts to tame prices include the unsanctioning of Russian oil at sea. We talked about that. There's been intense trader speculation that the U.S. may be intervening in future markets, something Bessent has denied. Soaring volatility has also limited the size of positions that traders can take. as it makes it more expensive to do so. While that has helped to keep a calling and a ceiling on futures, it's limited compared with the impact of the disruption in the Straits of Hormuz. The U.S. has almost exhausted the arsenal for stopping prices from rising, given the degree of uncertainty. If the strait isn't open and the uncertainty of physical damage isn't removed, Christoph Ruhl, the global advisor for Crystal Energy and former BP-picked economist, said in a Bloomberg TV interview that there isn't much they can do. So, there's lots going on here, as we unpack this deal, and it's going to continue. But I just wanted to bring light to the fact that what the futures market is and what the actual price people are getting paid for oil or buying oil is not the exact same thing. It's close, but it's not. We'll just have to continue to pray that this conflict comes to an end sometime soon, but an end that will make a difference instead of just ending it. Finish the job. Put your neck on the throat, so to speak. It's my opinion, but I could be wrong. With that being said, my lovely assistant has joined me in the studio. We're going to have your energy, stock prices, your forecast, energy news, and my brief says more as we continue with the mop-up segment of the Tuesday edition in a moment.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
So we had a gentleman that had heard our ad on the radio multiple times and had always wanted to try to do the bulk floods with us, but just thought it would be a big hassle. And he just kept putting it off. And finally, we had a salesman go down there and talk to him. And he told us what he needed. We took him a tote of hydraulic oil, tote of motor oil, and a drum of antifreeze. Got it set up for him, and the gentleman said, "That's it." Huh? He goes, "Man, if I'd have known it was this easy, I'd have done this a long time ago." We're kind of like your easy button. We're going to get it done for you, easiest way for you. I guess they think it's difficult, moving in the tanks or totes, whatever you want, getting it set up, getting the hose reels and all that type of stuff set up, pumps. But we do it every day. So, they think it's going to take weeks. But, most times we'll be there that week when they order it, if not, within a couple of days. They're very surprised at how fast.
Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse.
He goes, "Man, if I'd have known it was this easy, I'd have done this a long time ago."
K4T. There's a new shop in town. At K4T, they specialize in CNC machining, delivering precision and efficiency for the oilfield and agricultural industries. They've got your back with precision machining, welding, and fabrications. From prototypes to production runs, they turn raw stock into rock-solid results. And as a third-generation machinist, Jason Koss takes pride in his work. Visit K4T today on Merritt Road in Elk City or find him on Facebook. K4T.
They're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oil field or agriculture. So if you're a farmer and need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. You're a oil field customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. If we're competitive on price, we say we'll bring it to you, we'll do whatever it takes to get it to you, make life easier on you, or you can call us to solve a problem. Hey, can you get this? Why wouldn't you? American Hose and Supply, 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
The Exploring Energy Show.
What they have been talking about the last couple of years is plugging of wells, what they would call orphan wells. Some want them plugged, in my opinion, very, very prematurely. A well that might have been not worth too much because it wasn't producing much oil, suddenly, hooray, find some oil and natural gas.
The Exploring Energy Show, weekdays at 8 a.m. on 96.5 KECO.
Now on YouTube, search Exploring Energy Radio Show. For over 100 years, Farm Credit of Oklahoma has proudly served our area's farmers and ranchers. So when it comes to ag lending, don't fret it, call Farm Credit. You'll never regret it.
This This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Alrighty. This show brought to you in part by Fred's Steakhouse. Fred's Steakhouse is your destination for family-friendly dining. I'm going to say it. Here we go. Family-friendly dining. I'm selling seashores by the seashore. I don't know. Fred's has appetizers second to none, traditional favorites like chips and salsa, cheese, curds, fried pickles, quesadillas, and more. Wood chips, shrimp, jammers, spicy shrimp, Rocky Mountain oysters. The $4.99 chicken fried steak, served daily, hand-battered with country gravy and house-made mashed potatoes. Get you one of them. Fred's also has USDA graded beef ribeyes, New York strips, filet mignon, sirloins, hand-cut daily by their very own butcher. After all, it is a steakhouse. You can also enjoy beef tips, pork chops, and if you'd like to add a little flavor to your dish, get some grilled mushrooms or grilled onions. Fred's dining experience sure to please even the most sophisticated palate. Fresh salads, soup of the day, hot, fresh baked rolls. Chicken's your choice. They have 7 kinds. They got seafood. They got freshwater catfish, burgers, sandwiches. How about that hearty chicken fried steak sandwich? And kids' menu is stocked to satisfy the pickiest of young eaters at Fred's. Top off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts. They have a full-service bar. Fred's Steakhouse can host your private event located at 2107 South Main Street in Elk City, or dine in, take out, order online, Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. 243-2100. That's Fred's Steakhouse. And One Source Control Products, LLC, open in Weatherford in the H&C Supply Building. They got their sign up, as you can see it just right there south of the interstate. The old H&C Supply Building, 400 South Access Road. You can call them at 580-330-1161. Full-service supply store. Welding supplies, plus iron and metal like angle iron, square tubing, channel iron, among several other items. Pipe valves and fittings, controls, regulators, hydraulic hoses and fittings. Plus, they sell consumables such as soap and salt sticks, and their pump repair technicians can handle any of your pump repairs, from methanol to glycol. They work on all Kimray, Textim, and Western pumps. Locations in Elk City, Canadian, Texas, and now in Weatherford, the old H&C Supply Building. That number at Weatherford, 330-1161, or online, onesourceok.com. The numeral 1, sourceok.com. And this hour's weather forecast brought you the service of Carter Electric, owned and operated by Kervin and Mary Orgain. They're the ones who help you see the light of day, even at night, even on the weekend or in the middle of the night. If your lights go out, you can call Carter Electric. They provide 24-hour emergency electrical service on your side of the meter. Want to make sure your power stays on regardless of the weather? Well, Carter Electric is an authorized Generac generator dealer. They can sell it to you, size it, install it, and come back and service it. And a lot of electric work goes on overhead. Carter Electric has pole trucks, man lifts to get way up high if there's a problem up there. Licensed, insured, trusted Carter Electric, 225-2447. 225-2447, providing you this hour's weather forecast of service, Carter Electric. Okay, TJ, give us some good news. We got a 100% chance of rain someday.
No. We got 100% chance of wind.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That is well said.
Today it's going to be sunny with a high near 78, south wind 6 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 21. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 53, south wind 8 to 11 miles per hour. Wednesday sunny with a high near 91, south wind 8 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23. Thursday sunny with a high near 95, windy with a south wind 16 to 26 miles per hour with gusts as high as 40. Friday mostly sunny with a high near 64 and windy. Saturday partly sunny with a high near 62. Sunday partly sunny with a high near 81, and Monday partly sunny with a high near 83.
There you have it. Maybe some rain next week. I understand there's a
Maybe.
possibility.
We'll see.
There's always hope. Okay, so here's some energy news in my briefs. Iran threatens full closure of key oil route. Iran said the Straits of Hormuz, critical to oil exports and global energy flows, could be completely closed immediately if the U.S. follows up on President Donald Trump's threat to attack its power plants. Trump late Saturday set a 48-hour deadline to open the strait. Just a trickle of cargo ships and tankers, most of them Iranian, have made it through the Straits of Hormuz since Iranian forces effectively blocked the crucial trade route in the Middle East war. From March 1st to March 20th, commodities carriers just made 138 crossings, according to analytics from Kipler. That's a 95% decrease. Okay, an attack on Iranian southern coast and islands will lead to Gulf shipping routes being cut with the laying of sea mines, the country's defense council said on Monday. According to state media, the U.S. is considering plans to occupy or blockade Iran's Karj Island, the country's main oil export hub, to pressure Tehran to reopen the Straits of Hormuz to all shipping, according to Axios. Saudi Arabia cuts oil exports to Asia. Saudi Arabia is slashing its crude oil exports to Asia in April for a second month in a row as the de facto closed Straits of Hormuz is stranding most of the supply from the world's top crude exporter. Saudi oil giant Aramco has notified customers of term supply in Asia they would receive in April only. The flagship Arabian Night crude would be loaded at the Yanbu export in the Red Sea, according to Reuters. Qatar's energy minister confirmed that disruptions in the Qatari LNG exports may last far longer than initially assumed, and that a complete cessation of hostilities is required before restart operations can even begin. U.S. gasoline prices are on the cusp of reaching $4 per gallon. $3.96 is the new average now. Permian Basin drillers remain cautious. Oil and gas drillers in the Permian remain cautious about expanding production despite surging prices because the process of drilling new wells is slow and expensive, and because the Trump administration has promised to push down prices after the conflict is over. North Dakota output slow to respond. North Dakota's oil and gas industry is unlikely to ramp up drilling in response to price spikes anytime soon, as recent industry consolidation makes it slower to respond to price savings. And finally, $17 billion gas plant planned in Pennsylvania. Trump administration announced plans to build a $17 billion natural gas power plant in Pennsylvania, but neither the White House nor the expected developer has yet shared details about the intended location or when the construction will begin. What do you got as far as energy stock prices over there? Are you going to do us some good?
Yeah, it looks really good
today. Girl.
Yeah, American Electric Power is up 40 cents, trading at $128.39. Apache is up $1.73 at $40.76. Baker Hughes is up 19 cents at $62.72. ConocoPhillips is up $2.36, trading at $129.55. Devon Energy is up $1.47 at $49.95. EOG Resources is up $2.78, trading at $142.44. Expand Energy is up $4.09 at $111.73. General Electric is down $4.19 at $287.46. Halliburton is up 35 cents at $37.86. Helmerich & Payne is up 38 cents at $37.51. Liberty Energy is up 69 cents at $29.80. Occidental Petroleum is up $1.28 at $61.60. OG&E Energy is up 30 cents at $46.94. ONEOK is up 92 cents at $9.85. Phillips 66 is up $4.32, trading at $181.07. Plainridge Energy is up 25 cents at $16.52. Schlumberger is up 66 cents at $49.91, and Williams Companies is up 64 cents, trading at $74.27.
Okay, well, just a quick look at the commodity crude prices right now. $92.55 for WTI. That's up $4.42. Brent crude oil at $103.75. That's up $3.81. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas up 3 cents, trading at $2.92 per million BTU. Glad to have you back this morning, young lady.
Thank you.
I missed you yesterday. But anyhow, we have got Remember When Wednesday tomorrow. Looking much forward to that. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, I do appreciate all of our great sponsors that help make this broadcast possible. Again, I'm hoping each and every one of you continue to pray for our nation, pray for our soldiers, pray for the world leaders to keep the same going in the right direction that we need it to go. Another one you can. Supposed to be not as windy today. That's good news. It's been pretty frustrating. For all of our great sponsors and my lovely co-host, TJ, I'm Shawn Wilson. Thanks so much for listening. I promise we'll talk again. Have yourself a great day.
Cool country.
I love the nonstop music. I love your music because it's such a wide range.
This is KECO, Elk City.
Fox News, I'm CJ. Papa could talks lead to ending the conflict between